Racist killer realizes cops found her disturbing secret. Not disgusting. Potentially disgusting. What do you think of RFK's breath? You think what do I think his breath smells like?
Have you talked about killing someone?
It probably smells like beef tallow. Yeah, it probably just smells like straight beef tallow.
Oh,
He's just like his secret. His quote unquote health secret is just like takes a fistful of Tylenol and then like guzzles it down with like a big tube of beef tallow. He just it feels so good.
No, seriously.
This is 30-year-old Victoria Worth being questioned about her husband's death. Months earlier, she had begun planning her husband Shane's murder, determined to make it look like a... That was until Shane's final words turned the investigation upside down.
Shane, can you hear me?
I didn't do it.
Okay, everything will be all right.
Victoria believed she had orchestrated the perfect murder, securing her husband's house, car, and fortune. But eventually, her arrogance would not only seal her fate, but also bring down the people around her.
Some days I just wish he would get in an accident, die or something. There's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like it's...
This is the time to tell the truth. I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't
I am. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't do shit.
supposed to happen.
She looks like a radical feminist. The ironic part is she's the complete opposite. And what's wrong with being a feminist? Oh no, she has colored hair. She must be a radical lib because she's got colored hair, even though she's fucking racist. And in the fucking thumbnail, she had a goddamn Confederate flag.
Around 2:30 a.m. on September
Don't judge a book by its cover, chat.
26th, police in Minersville, Utah received a call from a resident who reported hearing a gunshot inside his garage.
Radical femmes are the ones that hate trans people? Okay, that's a whole can to open up for another time.
Corporal Cox quickly rushed to the scene, unaware that he was stepping into a carefully staged murder.
Oh, turfs? Oh. Oh. You're talking about turfs. Okay.
Hello!
Beaver 6, go ahead and send medical in. We're in the garage. All right, man, I got some help coming for you. Got one maybe through and through braid through the chest, so we're gonna have to expedite some things here.
One through and through in the chest.
This is Shane Davis. He's still alive, but drifting in and out of consciousness. But before EMS could get him to the hospital, Shane managed to mumble something, a crucial detail that would become the first major clue in uncovering everything.
Thank God he did that.
Looks like
I mean, I think she would have got caught regardless, but still.
Walked out to here. Just keep talking to us, Shane. You'll be good.
Shane?
Turfs sometimes call themselves rad femmes, even though they're very misogynist. Okay, well, the thing is, anytime I see someone say radical, that's just like such a like, just buzzword that I lost the concept of what radical genuinely means. So when someone in chat says radical feminist, I'm assuming they're using it in the buzzword concept. You know what I'm saying? Not like the actual concept of being radical.
Name's Christine. I'm with the ambulance. If things go quiet,
Yeah, like right when you're saying radical leftists. Yeah, like in their eyes, everyone's radical.
just keep going.
We're
just gonna roll you back, Shane, okay?
Okay. He said he did not do it to himself. Okay.
With Shane insisting he didn't shoot himself, detectives began to consider that this was not a self-inflicted act, but attempted murder. The officer counted 6 people in the house. While they were still seen as witnesses, their strange behavior and absence of a gun would soon raise suspicion.
There's about 6 people in the house.
So was like everyone present for the murder?
Do you guys know Shane to own a pistol?
He does own a pistol.
Okay.
It's in my room with him. I'm married to him.
I don't see one out here anywhere, so I'm wondering where it's at. Nobody's seen a gun or anything like that. He's got a gunshot wound to his chest.
As Shane fights for his life on the way to the hospital, detectives turn their attention to his wife, Victoria Worth. What officers don't realize is that Victoria's mind is fixed on a dark thought. If Shane dies, she would inherit his house, car, and fortune. With this twisted fantasy in mind, Victoria would go on to unwittingly reveal just how much she despised Shane.
Is he gonna be okay?
I'll tell you later. That's all I can say. Was Shane arguing with anybody tonight?
Just a little bit with me over a stupid comment.
Yeah.
He's been drinking nonstop. He was driving. I told him to come home. He needed to stop his. That is a fight that has.
Yeah, that's her like demeanor of like, yeah, he's just, argues with me all the time. He's just an alcoholic. He's just, this terrible person. He's dead. He killed himself in this scenario, in this imaginary scenario that's going on. Like, he killed himself. And her response is, well, he's drinking all the time. He's a piece of shit,
I'm out quite a bit between the two of us as drunk driving because of his ticket last time, which scares me. I have a 2-year-old daughter in the home, and the only comment I had made that if he entered the home that I would protect at any cost necessary for my daughter's sake.
Sure.
Victoria claims that
Including
she and
murdering
Shane
him?
got into a heated argument earlier that day. She also brings up his bad habit of drinking and driving, almost as if to shift blame, although no one has accused her of anything yet. But with 5 other friends still in the house, 5 more potential suspects entered the picture. But this is when Victoria starts throwing out even more bizarre theories, further deepening the officer's suspicion that this wasn't a self-inflicted death at all.
You guys should take out your trash.
Guys, any reason for anybody to cause Shane any harm? Anybody that may be involved with this that we might want to look at?
I don't know. He's got his fair share of enemies. Some people have issues with him because of him getting physical with me a while back in the past. He had left.
Dude, all she's doing is painting him out to be a bad person. That's all she's done this whole time.
He was drunk. I told him bring his ass home because last time he went out drunk driving, he ended up in jail.
So, guys, did anybody see Shane with a gun? Did he make any comments about harming himself?
I don't know. He's been drinking, and when he gets drunk, he gets kind of dumb. When he gets to drinking, he doesn't always make the smartest decisions. He has been going through a lot lately.
Did anybody see Shane with the gun? Brandon, you discovered him?
I discovered him originally.
Notice
Wow,
how
she seems not that affected for discovering your boyfriend's dead body.
Victoria stays glued to her phone while answering the police, almost as if she's reading from a script. With each claim, she further damages Shane's reputation, portraying him as an abusive husband with many enemies. Corporal Cox is struck by the housemates' matching lack of reaction, completely unfazed by their friend
like no one's even slightly bothered by the situation. Like he's dead.
being shot in the
They're like, "Yeah,
chest.
whatever."
But as the officers start analyzing the crime scene, they uncover a clue that turns the residents from witnesses into prime suspects.
There's blood all the way around to the corner. Yeah, look at this. Here. He's come out to this point. Or tried to enter to this point. I don't see anything past here, Kai.
What do they have to say? Anything? Did you talk to them?
Yeah, I talked to his wife. She says it was just him and her arguing. That he's been drinking all day.
A trail of blood led from the garage into the kitchen, suggesting Shane Davis was either moved after being shot or had tried to escape, casting serious doubt on Victoria's version of events.
Maybe
Detectives
Shane's
pressed on,
planning. Yeah, and I
unaware.
feel like everyone probably was aware of the situation because their reaction is like, bro, I don't know. I wouldn't just be sitting down, like, not showing emotion after someone I knew just killed themselves in the next room. You know what I mean? But like you'd be a little, show a little bit of like emotion.
That everyone but them knew who had shot Shane and why the gun was still missing.
Well, I don't know how well you guys know him, but he scares the living hell out of me. Since I do have a 2-year-old in my home, I will.
He's a fucking horrible person. He's an alcoholic. He abuses me. Awful, terrible, disgusting human. He just, honestly, I'm glad he killed himself.
Do whatever it takes in my power to protect my daughter at any cost necessary.
Bro, just like put yourself in handcuffs at this point. She's like, I would do anything to protect my daughter, including murder him. But I didn't. Okay? I know, I didn't.
Pistol, from what you told me earlier.
He has a pistol. It's in my room. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, just take me where and I'll look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, we do have, he has his own gun, and I have a rifle.
Okay.
So they're both in here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the house?
Yeah.
There's the Confederate flag hanging up in her room.
In here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the
There it is.
His is right there.
Okay.
So that's his.
Set that right there.
And I have a rifle, which is...
Okay, you can leave it.
Chat, how much you want to bet that she's a furry? Like, no, okay, no shit talking on furries here, all right? You know, whatever. You want to be a furry, you want to be a furry. But there's this weird thing when it comes to furries where, like, they're weirdly racist and, like white nationalists. It's like a weird subsection of furries that are just Nazis. And she has a bunch of like really big animal plushies in her room. I would not be surprised if she was one of those like wacko furries who are like Nazis.
Right there, that's fine. What caliber?
7mm 08.
Neither of these have been fired. And these are supposedly
Not all, well, no, it's not, obviously it's not all of them. It's actually a small subsection, but they're very loud and they're very like upfront about it. I've seen the furry pic of a guy in a suit fashioned from a Confederate flag. Dude, I've seen a furry dressed in a Nazi uniform doing a Nazi salute. Like, it's weird.
only 2 in the home. And we may have a shooter somewhere.
Cox examined the rounds in each gun and concluded that none had been fired. With this revelation, the detectives returned to question the residents, unaware that Victoria was about to accidentally reveal a crucial piece of information pointing directly to the shooter.
Well, do me a favor, guys. Just everybody hang tight right here. I'm going to come back and get a statement from everybody. And
Well, I don't know where my other partner is. I have 2. I'm polyamorous. He's been gone for a while, though. Long beforehand.
Okay.
So he left earlier today and has been out and about for a while.
Okay. Yep, just hang tight right here, guys.
But just as the officers were about to leave, one of the residents revealed that Victoria's secret lover despised Shane and was seen leaving the house around the time of
What? A poly relationship that doesn't work?
the shooting. He identified the man.
Dude, this is the, oh my, what in God's name is that? What the fuck? Who did your hair, bro? Who fucking did your hair? I need to know. What the hell is on top of your head? I have so many questions. And that beard as well? It's just like pubic hair? What? All of this? Like, what is all of this, bro? God damn.
As Mike Miller, someone well known to police.
But what I was saying is I feel like 70 to 80% of poly relationships aren't actual poly relationships. People just say they're poly relationships because they want to keep 2 people around, and there's always one manipulator and 2 people who are getting strung around, right? That's normally what poly relationships are. There are some that are successful, but a lot of times poly relationships are just used as an excuse to go sleep around with people.
For his considerable criminal record.
Like this one, for example.
Finally, the police have a lead, marking the start of the hunt for their primary suspect. The officers were now on the lookout for Mike, a likely suspect in Shane's death, or at the very least, someone with answers.
Yes, unethical monogamy.
A few hours later, after searching the nearby area, one car's license plate matched 27-year-old Mike Miller. To their surprise, Mike was compliant when approached and even agreed to come to the station for questioning. But while the officers expected denials and deflection, he would tell police exactly what had gone down.
He proceeded to walk towards me and ended up going through the garage. I know she tried to keep him out of the house by keeping him pinned to the door. For a minute, she kind of kept him there, and then...
The way Big has become an expert on poly relationships for the number of weird wannabe poly murders that happen in these videos. Actually, the reason I'm an expert on poly relationships is I have firsthand experience with a family member who was in a obvious scam poly relationship where it was like so basically what was happening is she was dating someone, she was dating a girl, and then that girl wanted to have a poly relationship, but then the other girl was kind of like iffy about it, and then that girl started dating another girl in their poly relationship, and it was blatantly obvious that, you know, she was third wheeled. Like the other two were like third wheeling her, even though they were labeling it as a poly relationship. And eventually they ended up just saying, screw you, and kicked her out of the poly relationship. I feel like it just happens a lot, you know?
And he got kind of pretty physical with her. He grabbed her wrist and he shoved her. And I told him, like, Shane, I will shoot you. You need to let her go. He wouldn't listen. I did what I did to protect him. I shot him.
Without any pushback from the detectives, Mike admitted point blank that he...
More power to you guys if you're in a good poly relationship, because that's rare. That's very rare.
Shot Shane. But there was a reason for his unusual honesty. He would soon claim it was all in self-defense.
She had me go tell him to shut the truck off. And I looked at him like, dude, I'm just telling you what I was told to tell you. Because he does tend to, at times, get kind of physical when he's drinking. I wasn't going to just sit there and let him hurt the woman I love. I saw him as a threat to them.
He's covering for her, isn't he? He's just covering for her, right? That's what I feel like is going on.
I household into that child, and I did what I thought I had to do to protect them. I shot him. Out of pure self-defense and protection for that household.
Despite Mike's apparent honesty, the police know he isn't telling the whole story, although for now, they let him believe he's off the hook. But before the officers can apply pressure, Mike introduces a new name, someone supposedly even more dangerous than Shane.
Sean, who he was on the phone with, he had called her a bitch quite a few times. She had given the warning to Sean that if he came here, it wasn't going to end well. From what I understand, Sean is a very violent person. And Shane kind of said something to Sean, saying, he's like, you know what, Sean, go ahead and come down here. That then there posed a threat on the household, because Sean wasn't going to come down here and just talk everything out. He would be armed, and he was going to come down here for a fight.
According to Mike, Sean was a friend of Shane's who was...
all they're doing is just like making this guy out to be horrible.
Moments away from arriving at the house, armed and ready for a fight. But since Mike had spent 5 hours on the run after the shooting, it's possible Victoria instructed him to tell the police this story and perhaps even to claim self-defense. However, Mike's self-defense argument was far weaker than he realized, and the detectives began pressing him on it.
Why did you immediately go to the gun rather than try to physically stop him? Because there's two of you and just one of him.
The light wasn't on, and like I said, it's really cluttered in that garage, so I would have ended up falling and stumbling.
Hindsight 2020, is there a way that you would have handled this differently?
Yes, if he hadn't been so stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, but rather with using the weapon.
And that's something I thought about throughout the night while I was driving, is that I probably could have handled that a lot differently, but like I said, he was already getting fairly aggressive with everyone else and pretty loud.
As the officer points out, with multiple men in the home, subduing Shane wasn't just...
How are people this desperate for pussy? I'm so serious. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Because I already get mine. Oh! Oh! Sorry, Pumpkin. I woke you up. I'm sorry. I woke up Pumpkin. I'm sorry. Okay, wife haver. What? What, you jealous? I'm sorry, Pumpkin. I didn't mean to wake you up.
Possible, it was the right thing to do. By now, Mike and Victoria's relationship seemed increasingly strange, and the officer realized this was likely something they would want to push on. And he was right.
So has there been any, like, jealousy squabbles between you and Shane? I mean, have you, like, seen him with Victoria and became jealous?
We've had our moments where, you know, he wasn't really given a choice. Everything had came out that me and Victoria were together and had been together for quite some time and whatnot. She basically told him she was staying with me and that was that. He was going to have to deal with it or, you know, end the relationship.
Just as the officer suspected, jealousy and rage explained Mike's actions far better than self-defense. With their primary suspect now in custody, devastating news arrived from the hospital. Shane had passed away. As Mike prepared to be charged with manslaughter, Victoria believed her brilliant plan had succeeded and that she had outsmarted the police. But little did she know, her arrogance would eventually catch up with her.
Dude, poor, like, if this dude didn't shoot him and he's actually just, like, trying to protect her. Oof. Oof, she must be a good manipulator then.
It's now 1 month after Shane's death, and Victoria is still living in his house, driving his car, and carrying on as if nothing had happened.
What a
She
surprise.
frequently visits Mike in jail and writes Facebook posts about how much she misses Shane. It seems that fateful night was behind her, and Victoria was free to live her dream life. But that was until something completely unexpected happened. On November 7th, the detectives received an anonymous tip to check Victoria's Snapchat account. While they weren't expecting much, after all, their primary suspect
One of the people that were in the building, in the house.
Was already in custody, the investigation was about to be turned upside down. Unbeknownst to the police, Victoria had been planning Shane's murder for months over Snapchat with Mike. While Mike may have pulled the
Okay, all right. So Victoria just manipulated him to kill him. I got it.
trigger, the messages made it clear that Victoria was the mastermind. With this new evidence showing that Victoria had conspired with Mike and encouraged—
Why didn't they check her shit to begin with? Because she wasn't a suspect. Because he, admitted it.
Shane's murder, the detectives were ready to bring her in. Although Victoria remained arrogant, still convinced her plan was flawless, the police now had enough proof to completely dismantle her.
So, were there ever times that you and Mike talked about Shane together and that you were both upset with him because of things he was...
How did they get them? Did he save more those messages? Chat, they're the cops. They can get anything, bro.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Just the way that he was acting and his behaviors at hand, and that if it was going to continue on, that we were going to sit down and sit there and say no more alcohol allowed in the house at all.
Mike had multiple usernames on Snapchat. Do you remember Devil Daddy 13?
Devil Daddy 13? Oh God. Dude, that's like a name you would make when you're like fucking 12. Like, what the fuck?
I don't remember having a conversation with Mike about Shane when he was using that Devil Daddy 13.
Not off the top of my head.
Victoria's voice goes quiet.
This dude's 27.
The question likely sending her mind racing through every conversation she had with Mike. With Victoria scrambling to collect herself, the detectives were about to confront her with every incriminating message they had. But little did they know, Victoria's arrogance would persist, still believing she could walk free without facing the consequences.
So, I want to show you this, and maybe I can jog your memory too, I don't know. This is those snaps between Devil Daddy and Rebel Princess.
Devil Daddy, bro. Oh my God.
Some days I just
Devil Daddy.
In an accident,
I'm never gonna get over that.
Or something. So
I didn't have to deal with this crap.
But let's just read through these, Victoria.
Okay.
So cut your wrist to get caught.
It was supposed to say too much of a risk, your dumbass would get caught.
So then, Mike responds back to you. It can be done and done right, and it wouldn't be hard to do. And then you responded back to him saying,
Yeah.
Not without getting caught or guilty.
And that's where I'm sitting here trying to convince him, like, no.
No, you're not. You're not trying to convince him, no.
You're not doing this. One, you're going to get caught. Two, you're going to feel hella guilty about shit.
So then, again, like to you, getting caught wouldn't be an issue. Dylan doesn't carry guilt with me.
God, he's so edgy.
Person has no hold on me. Mike reports back to you there's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like natural causes based off his depression and all that's going through his head. I've done it to my dad before, not enough to kill him, but enough to get a point across and
what
make
a
it
piece
different
of shit.
to a point, and if he dies, he can't defend himself. We can all say he's been acting hella different. The right story by everyone can dismiss it all, and then you say, I'd rather it look an accident. It's the only way. I'm going to keep house. We are sitting here, and I only want one thing from you, and one thing only. I want the truth.
You didn't even expect us to have those.
Needless to say, Victoria indeed wasn't expecting this. Corporal Cox has just revealed a conversation from 2 weeks before Shane's murder in which Victoria explicitly expresses her wish for his death.
Yes,
her
they
intent
are.
is clear as day.
Does
I'd
that
rather
imply he killed someone else before? No, he said he almost did. But it didn't. I don't know if he didn't follow through or if he just didn't finish off.
it look like an accident. It's the only way. Other messages, such as touch your wrist to get caught, reveal the meticulous planning that went into Shane's murder. Victoria is naive enough to try and explain the messages away, even claiming that she was actually trying to dissuade Mike from shooting Shane. But despite the overwhelming evidence, Victoria still had a plan to slip out of this predicament.
If I found out my murder was planned by a rebel princess and devil daddy, I'd be so pissed. Yeah, I know, right? Imagine you're in the afterlife, you know, whatever the fuck that's gonna happen after. And you're just like, you're just looking down. It's like, I got killed by fucking devil daddy? Devil daddy and rebel princess are the ones that killed me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Victoria, I can tell things are weighing heavy on your mind.
There was a lot of abuse with me and Shane, but that doesn't mean that I ever wanted to lose him. Under no circumstances did we plan for this to happen. What went through Mike's head that night that it went all down, I don't know. Shane gets to drinking, he gets violent, and he gets terrifying. I know what the conversation looks like. But at the tail end of that relationship with Shane, it did feel like I was trapped. That night, it just went way too far.
Shane gets shot and he falls down. Who helps him? Anybody try to stop his bleeding?
No, I can't handle blood, and he wouldn't let me touch him anyways. All he did was grunt.
Okay, so you just admitted that you didn't even try to save him.
And make weird noises.
You can't explain that, Victoria. This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Except you're talking about murdering your husband with your lover. We're making this right for Shane. Shane's the victim here.
And I understand that, but I didn't plan my husband's murder.
How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously. How often have you had these conversations with people?
You're telling me that you're a perfect person and you've never done a single wrong thing in your life?
No.
Yeah, I don't. There's so much middle ground. But there's so much middle ground in between there. Oh, what? You've never, like, just randomly said you wanted to kill your husband and wanted to plan it out? Oh, what? What, you're perfect? You're perfect and you've never done that before? Everyone's done that. Everyone's done that.
I have
Or made a wrong
never talked about.
Okay, but you've never sat there and made a wrong retort.
Remember what I told you Shane was dead that morning?
Yeah.
You remember what you said back to me?
No.
And you actually said to me you were worried about losing your house. Your husband just died. I told you that. Do you think those things planted the seed in Mike?
And it might have. So planting the seed in there, possibly. I very well might have without even intending to do so. 90% of that, yes, was smart out remarks. Can I please question?
I'll tell you this right now, absolutely no. What I have for you is an arrest warrant signed by the 5th District Court Judge.
Seriously?
Get fucked.
Seriously. You are being placed under arrest right now.
I did not kill my husband, and that will come up, and I will sit there and make sure that you guys are making a huge mistake.
Victoria finally admits to planting the idea of murdering Shane in Mike's head. Unbeknownst to her, Corporal Cox has masterfully coaxed her into confessing and sealing the fate of her secret lover. Months after the murder, Victoria was finally arrested and escorted to Beaver County Jail, the same facility where her lover was being held.
No! Take her somewhere else.
Mike Miller pled down from murder to manslaughter and received a sentence of 8 years to life.
Huh? What do you mean 8 years to life? Does that mean in between 8 to life, like he could get out? What? So you're saying he could get out in 8 years on good behavior? Is that what that's saying? Chat, help me out. I'm confused. Is that what that's saying? No one's helping me. Everyone's ignoring me. Chat, why is everyone ignoring me right now? No one knows. You guys don't know? You guys are supposed to be Google. You guys are supposed to be my AI, my chat GPT, where if I ask you a question, you're supposed to know. 8 years before eligible before parole. Thank you. Finally. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. Like, is it really that hard? Oh my God. See, this is the problem. This is the problem, chat. I'm smarter than everyone in chat. So it's like, I should have just known, you know?
Victoria
You guys come to me to learn, correct? Am I wrong?
Was convicted of criminal solicitation and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder and sentenced to 3 years to life in prison.
While an officer investigated
3 years to life. That I'm going to be honest, I've never heard a single digit year to life. I've heard like 30 years to life or 40 years to life. But like 3 years to life? That's an interesting one.